Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Chasing Psychological Safety video. This week, as you'll have seen in our article yesterday, we are busting a pretty big myth around measurements and exactly how useful any of the measurements that we're using in business now are. Our article yesterday focused in pretty laser-like on the NPS score and how that score has become outdated. We're not even sure it was right in the first place. We really, really encourage you to read the article that is linked first in that newsletter, which exposes the maths and the thinking behind the NPS score and really makes you think hard about how and why we're even using that score in the first place. But we really want to broaden that out a little bit as well in terms of people's thinking, in terms of all of the scores and measurements that we're using in the workplace now. Scores relating to people, engagement scores, obviously the NPS score, looking at numbers of people, looking at numbers of people in teams. Really, why are we using any of the measurements that we're using? Are they relevant for the business world that we live in now? And they should be continually reviewed and looked at, because business and work and life are changing at such a fast pace. So we've really got to stop relying on outmoded, outdated, possibly irrelevant measurements and start thinking about what really is going to help people and support people to do their best work in the world of work that we've got now, and then again for the future.
Exactly. I think it's really important that we go back to something we've been saying over and over again, which is question everything. And it's not just something we say because it sounds good. It's something that should be business hygiene these days. Realistically, the way we have constructed measurements and business health indicators in the past has nothing to do with what we're doing these days. The vast majority of us are working in technology, that we're working with really fast-paced demands. We are in the middle of a VUCA vortex, all of us, no matter how we want to spin it. Life is moving incredibly fast around us. Work in itself is moving incredibly fast. Nothing is the same as we have learned it in business school, if considering we're all above the age of 22, I would presume, although I'm not positively sure what's being taught in business school these days. But realistically, if you sit down and you start thinking about what is a team, how many people do we have to have in a team, what is management, what is leadership, what are we trying to accomplish, what are outcomes, what are measurements, what are our measurements, right? What do we measure? How many people in this company? What does that matter? That's a horrendous measurement. Do we measure exactly how much money we're making? That might be a good measure. Do we measure how happy our customers are? No, we don't have really ways to measure it, which brings us to the NPS score. Do we measure in any which way exactly how happy our employees are? No, also no. And for the most part, we don't really want to know how unhappy they truly are. But realistically, all of the things we've had in place should be measured again. If anything, it is shocking that in a world that's moving as fast as our world is moving, we don't have a requirement for businesses to audit all of their measurements at least once a year. That they sit down and they go like, right, what all do we consider to be a measure of success? And should we be using that same thing? Should we change it at all? Has the world left us behind? Look at us using a number that some dude proposed, with all due respect and with all the wrath of the big consultancies potentially coming over us. It is what happened. I'm sure he's a lovely gentleman. I'm sure he had all the best intentions in the world. There is a lot of good intention behind the idea of measuring how your customers feel and measuring how your employees feel. We're not against that, God forbid. On the contrary, we're very much for measuring it. We just maintain that this is not the way to do it. And we all kind of know it, right? We know this is not the way to do it. So what I would urge everyone to do is to, again, as Fionn said, read the article, set 10 minutes aside to read it. The way that the score is broken down is incredibly clear. It will make your blood curl that you've been measuring something through a scale that is absolutely illogical. If you have a 6, you're at a minus 100. If you have a 7, you're at a minus 100. It's absolutely out of this world ridiculous. Go read it. Number one. Number two, the way you score it is wrong. The way you ask it is wrong. The way we've applied this to our customers, instead of just applying it to whether or not someone would buy this product again, is wrong. The fact that we are not questioning it and we're just using it and embedding it into bonuses and performance measurement and the entire mechanism of the enterprise is wrong. We're not in a good position. We have got to find ways that we do this better. Let's question it. Let's open a dialogue. Let's figure out if it is fit for purpose. You might be in that unique situation where your business moves just that slow that this one question, would you buy my product again in the future, is good enough. Although, let's face it, how much use are you getting out of future predicting questions? I don't know. But if you are in that particular situation, congratulations. Everyone else, start asking, start talking. We have some issues to solve. Shall we just kind of, yes. Next time we see you guys, shall we talk about it again, Fionn, or shall we give them a couple more ideas?
A few more ideas next week. Yeah.
Yes, excellent. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.